prevents the disc from escaping an overflowing tank.
We're trying to find out what caused it. We still don't know what caused the blockage in the screen. We think it's the blockage in the screen. We don't even know it's that. But we assume that there was some sort of a surge, and the surge pushed all the discs up against the screen. Mm-hmm. It could have been a foot, 2 feet, 3 feet thick. I don't know. That's our guess, and that caused that didn't allow the flow of sewage through, and it went over the top.
But that's what I'm getting at. Does any of these systems have a screen around the perimeter of the tank?
No.
To stop the disc from escaping?
No. None of the plants that we went and looked at had anything like that. Or did they even talk about something like that to us?
All right, thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm going to bring Dan Pike back. I just had questions about the safety.
Dan, would you mind?
So as obviously we've heard here, there, and elsewhere from the scattering of news stories concerning the safety of the disc, and you had spoke about how we're into uncharted territory. It took us a while to find a way to test them. I believe anyway, the general consensus, what I'm hearing from the news stories is they are safe at this point. Could you speak about the progress, how we made that determination, when that determination was actually made, and is there additional testing going on?
Oh, certainly, Councillor. The testing procedure that is done is a disc is put into a sterile solution of water. Then the disc is vigorously shaken for 30 minutes. And then they test the water for bacteria count. I believe that the sampling continues as we speak. In the first couple of days of the release, the discs tested. Some were positive.
The first 2 discs were positive.
They had E. coli.
That was the only one that was found with E. coli. They tested 2 discs in New Hampshire. That was the first test. The second test was in Massachusetts with 50 discs, and they found nothing. Consequently, after that, New Hampshire has tested probably daily or every other day, and they have found no E. coli.
No bacteria contamination whatsoever.
So we go back to all that rain, and we've got water all over the place. So is it practical to say that probably when they were initially released, they were probably contaminated, but due to the influx of water, that contamination has been washed away?
They say once it hits, the engineers told us, once it hits salt water and sun, it eliminates the bacteria.
The discs are being collected by Enpro, and I know they were trying to collect them, not to keep them out in general public. Is that, what are we doing with the discs?
The guidance that New Hampshire DES and the Mass Department of Environmental Protection, essentially this is now litter. Now, I'm not trying to diminish the scope of the problem, but it's a gigantic litter problem. As with any beach litter, they're advising wear rubber gloves when you're picking it up. Wash your hands thoroughly after you're done, and the disc could be disposed of in regular household trash. And that is a guidance that both Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the state of New Hampshire are issuing. There was, and I don't know if it's germane to the conversation or not, but there was a little bit of hysteria in Massachusetts when this first happened. The beaches were, there was signs, beaches were closed due to contamination, and those signs remained and added to the confusion, if you will, for a couple days into the incident. That's one of the reasons why Massachusetts has probably not been as cooperative as New Hampshire has been.
I can understand their first reaction. When they had litter on their beach, we would probably react the same way. But after the discs were tested and they were proven to be not harmful, they didn't react in a responsible manner and open their beaches and say pick them up and throw them away. They continued on with their hazardous waste reaction and continued cordoning off the beaches and having police presence there and that type of thing. And I think they overreacted a little bit.
Just have one more. So we touched, briefly on the news releases. And I certainly understand that, you all had gotten together, you had made the decision that you were going to allow DES to put out the news releases. Is that an accurate statement at this point?
That is accurate.
Okay. So I guess I do have a lot of concerns with that, and at this point I don't think it's the time to pick apart how actions were done. Hopefully we do get a chance to do that though. But DES isn't whose name was in the paper. Hooksett's name was in the paper. Hooksett's name was in the paper today. Still about the disc. We've got people making earrings and bracelets.
And you don't put it there.
No, I don't want it there, but I still have to question why it was days, and I believe if my number's right, and I was out of town, but 16 days before I saw Hooksett put out a news release about it. When I first spoke up about my disappointment about the releases coming out of Hooksett, I guess I just have to wonder, do you think DES put out proper amounts of press releases? Because I see that we did not get in front of it, that we are using DES as an excuse for why we did not come out and make statements. And my personal feeling is that if we had come out and made the information known, made the actions that we were taking known, that the rhetoric and the hysteria would not have gotten so large. Lack of news coming out. DES was not putting out press releases. Nobody was putting out press releases. We, and as I'm speaking, basically to Sid and Dan here, I don't understand why you did not go to DES and say, why aren't we getting the information out there?
You're trying to get into a blame game here.
No, I don't want blame. I want to know.
You're trying to get into a blame game, and it's not the time for blame game. We'll try the blame game after everything's all settled and we get things under control. The way we stand now, we're on a good path to get things completed, and if you want to take us to task afterwards, that's up to you.
I look forward to that time.
When this initially happened, Bruce showed up at the plant on Monday morning, and he said it was like a swimming pool there. We have all the snow was all around the plant. We thought that collected most of the discs. We were wrong about that. But Bruce made his reports. He had to report to EPA, to the City of Manchester, to Nashua, the Environmental Protection Agency, Manchester Waterworks. He did all that. He did everything he was supposed to do. And now you're trying to imply that there's something we did wrong. And because we didn't advertise and tell everybody, hey, we released some...
You spoke of the hysteria.
Yeah.
I'm speaking of the hysteria. I feel that if more press releases had come out, whether they had come from DES or if they had come personally from Mr. Pike, that maybe we could have controlled some of this hysteria. I am not looking for answers tonight. I am asking for Dan and yourself to think about that statement and to think about maybe what we could have done. We, Hooksett, not what DES, not what New Hampshire could have done. What Hooksett could have done differently so that we did not become a news story for 4 weeks that is ongoing. So I'm not looking to place blame, I'm looking to find the answers.
Well, so are we. And if you'd let us get at it, we'll get at it.
I thought that's what we've been letting you do for 4 weeks.
I'm not going to have any back and forth.